So Google just dropped Gemini 3 Pro, and let me tell you, this isn't just another incremental update. No, this feels like a fundamental shift in what an AI can actually do. We're talking about 4 major new features: a creative content generator, a search function that builds interactive experiences on the fly, a wild text-to-app builder they're calling anti-gravity, and maybe most importantly, an autonomous agent that plugs right into all your Google apps. Today we're going to break down exactly what all this means.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The source material for this whole explainer makes a bold claim that one of these 4 features isn't just a cool demo. It's the real revolution, the one that can make a bunch of apps you pay for totally useless. And get this, it's probably not the one you're thinking of. So our job today is to play detective, investigate these 4 new powers, and figure out which one is the true productivity killer.
First up, let's dive into Exhibit A, Gemini's ability to create some seriously high-quality researched content completely from scratch. I'm talking about things like full landing pages and entire pitch decks. The big question is, can it really replace the specialized tools we use for this stuff? So for the first test, they threw a real challenge at it: create a landing page for an actual startup called Growth School. And the prompt was super specific, asking for a playful neo-brutalism style, a very particular neon green, gray, and white color scheme, and to use upward arrows everywhere to symbolize growth. Let's see how it handled that. And this is where things get kind of crazy. Gemini didn't just follow the instructions. It went out, researched Growth School on its own, and found its real tagline: scale your future and stay hungry, learn by doing. It even dug up the company's mentor affiliations with huge names like Google and Amazon and put them in the design. It did all that while still perfectly nailing the specific, kind of weird design instructions. You see, that's not just generating text. That's research and creative execution all rolled into one. Okay, for the next test, things get competitive. It was a head-to-head showdown, Gemini 3 Pro versus a popular presentation-making competitor, Gamma. The challenge was simple: build an entire pitch deck from a single prompt.
And to keep things totally fair, you can see here they gave both AIs the exact same, very detailed prompt. This wasn't about trying to trick one of them. It was a straight-up test of their ability to research, structure, and present some pretty complex information.
Well, the results were like night and day. Gamma gave back a presentation that was fine, but it was super generic. You could tell it just plugged information into a standard template. Gemini, on the other hand, built a real, data-driven story. It pulled these incredibly specific numbers, like its 99.8% score on a language test called MMLU, and even claims about outperforming other models by 40%. And wow, it even included sources and citations for its data. It didn't just fill in the blanks. It acted like a genuine research assistant. The final rating from the source really says it all. Gemini's pitch deck got a solid 7 out of 10. Gamma, a 4.5. So in this creative challenge, Gemini was the clear winner. And this really matters because it shows AI as moving beyond being just a writer and becoming a research partner that can build a whole argument for you. All right, let's move on to our second exhibit: interactive search. This is where the idea of a search engine just giving you a list of blue links starts to feel, well, ancient. Google calls this whole thing Generative UI. To put this to the test, they asked it a notoriously difficult physics question. Hey, explain the 3-body problem. Now, normally you just get a wall of text or a link to a dense Wikipedia article, right? Well, that is not what happened this time. Instead of just describing the problem, Gemini built an actual working, interactive physics simulation. You could literally see the difference between a stable orbit and a chaotic one. It took the super complex, abstract idea and turned it into something you could see and play with. You're not just reading about it, you're experiencing it. And this isn't just for, mind-bending physics. It has really practical uses. For example, if you ask it to compare 2 loan options, it doesn't just spit out an answer. It builds you an interactive calculator. You can slide the loan amount up and down, change the repayment terms, and watch all the numbers and calculations update in real time. The big picture here is that search is changing from passive info gathering to active problem solving right there in the search bar.
And now for Exhibit C, the one that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's Google's anti-gravity feature, and it promises to build you a working app from a single sentence.
The concept is as simple as it is powerful. You just describe an app you want, and Gemini doesn't just give you the code or a mock-up, it actually codes and builds a functional version for you, ready to go in just a few seconds. It's kind of wild. They actually tried it. The prompt was for a simple flight lookup tool, and boom, out came a working web app. It had the input fields, the search button worked, and it was even hooked up to a real flight data API. I mean, the implications of this are just massive. This could completely change who gets to be a developer, potentially making everyone a creator.
Okay, let's take a breath. We've seen a powerful content creator, an interactive search engine that builds tools, and a text-to-app builder that feels like magic. All of them are seriously impressive. But now, it is time to solve the mystery we started with.
So, which one of these features is the real game changer? The one that isn't just a flashy demo, but a genuine threat to the paid productivity apps we use every day?
The verdict is agent mode. This is the one. The feature that got less of the public spotlight, but has by far the most profound implications for how we're all going to work.
So what the heck is agent mode? Think of it like this. It's an autonomous system that you give a key to your entire Google Workspace. It gets access to your Gmail, your calendar, your Drive, and it can actually do things with that access for you.
Here's why this is such a monster of a feature. You can ask it to organize your inbox, and it'll go search through your emails, draft replies, and create follow-up reminders. You can tell it, find all the meeting requests I got last week and add them to my calendar. Or you could give it a really complex task like, hey, search my Drive for the Q3 sales report and the latest marketing doc, pull the key growth metrics from both, and then compile a one-page summary for me. You see? It's not just assisting you, it's completing these complex, multi-step tasks for you from start to finish. This is the exact kind of work that entire companies have built productivity apps for, and agent mode wants to do it all with just a single prompt.
So as we wrap this up, let's just zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Because this isn't really just about a smarter assistant anymore. It's about a whole new kind of coworker. And this is the most crucial point to understand. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in our relationship with technology. We're moving away from an AI that's just a tool that we have to pick up and use for a task, and toward an AI that's an autonomous partner we can delegate entire workflows to. And that, of course, leaves us with a pretty enormous question. With tools like agent mode that can literally take over huge chunks of our daily work, it forces us to ask what our own roles become. When your AI can do the work, what will you do next?